What is going on, everybody? It is the Rap Roulette. We are back at it again with a special episode with a special guest. We are your hosts, Shows Real. We got the boy D Rice.
Yep.
Yo. We got
Yo,
our guest today, Pete Up. Tell him how you feeling.
what's the deal, world? It's your boy Prince. I'm in the building, chilling with T Rail, my boy Dave. Ready to talk about some music that's going on in the world, man. First, let me put out my information, the media, Twitter, Prince Will _20. Once again, at Prince Will _20 for Twitter. And Instagram, we got 5 underscores, Prince 20. Once again, Instagram at 5 underscores, Prince 20. Holla at your boy. Let's get to the episode, man.
There you have it. So we
You heard it.
Get this wheel
Right.
off for y'all.
How y'all feeling today, man? How y'all feeling?
Good, bro. Ready to talk about
Sure.
this shit for sure. It's some good
Oh
topics.
yeah, it's definitely been an interesting couple weeks, year, whatever you want to call it. It's been interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's kick it off.
What we gonna land on?
ooh. Ah.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
What do we have here?
So yeah, Prince, so what we usually do is whatever the wheel lands on, we say what the topic is. So it's about, Logic is supposedly retiring. And
right. It's totally
yeah. And his last album is coming out next week, which is called No Pressure, which is supposed to be kind of a sequel to Under Pressure, his first album. So yeah, just like you said, I'm not really sure about the retiring thing, but that's to be debated about.
Yeah, the retirement aspect is like where is it coming from? See, well, my whole thing, like with Logic is young, like, so in his day and age, when he came out, like, from what I know, he came out during like Mac Miller era, like the boys that were just coming up around then. So like those people they're doing their thing. That's young, still dropping albums, EPs, and things like that. So when you hear retirement from Logic, it's like, ain't you just came from a class that wasn't not too recent. You know what I'm saying? Like you still in the game at this point. So as far as the music, you never want artists to end up retiring, especially like early on. With Logic, I did know that like his music, he definitely wanted to expand a lot more than he was trying to do. I can see possibly him actually retiring now that you said like the Under Pressure was his like debut album, like one of the albums that he dropped like prior to like No Pressure coming out. So like it kind of seems like this was like planned. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the like a planned type of thing that he was trying to like put out. Rather than like this is gonna be my last album, because people don't really often do that. Like just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna be my last album or so. And
I feel you.
I mean, like that.
He's been saying that he wants to commit more to like his family and his new baby. So I mean that gives me like a little indication, like okay, he might actually be retiring. But like, I mean, I would say, even if he thinks about retiring, like he might come back. You never know. It's like we heard from a million kinds of rappers, like Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne didn't retire.
Right.
There's a ton of rappers that are like that. Like T-Row, what you think?
Yeah.
Literally like I don't know, it's like a popular move. I don't know if it's at this point like some type of publicity stunt. I mean, even Nicki talking about retiring like last year or whatever. She was done. How long that lasts? Like a couple of weeks.
Right.
But,
exactly.
I don't know. It's kind of
Lil
like
Uzi. Like I definitely remember that time, Lil Uzi.
Oh my God.
Uzi as well. Uzi pulled the same thing. He that super young cat. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't be retiring. He can't just come out with EXO Tour Life and then
like,
and be like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. You can't just drop a hit and then be like, hey, I'm done, guys.
Yeah, man. So when you hear artists talk about retirement, it's like you're gonna retire from being an artist and dropping music and putting out all this quality you clearly got passion for. It's like I don't know, but yeah, he does kind of have a better reason. Um, it really just depends. It's like I guess we just wait and see. He's talking about it, so let's see if he backs that up.
Yeah, I think he's been okay. He's gotten like a little, in my opinion, a little worse over the years, but he's been a pretty solid artist in my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of people like hate on him, like for being corny, but whatever, I mean, at least I know like Under Pressure was a great album from him. That was like one of my favorites from Logic. So like I'm excited to hear No Pressure for that.
What are you guys projecting? No Pressure. How are you anticipating? Like, if this is supposedly his last album, you think this will end up going to be like one of his best, or what do you think? Like, since his trajectory through his career, like, how do you think this album will end up turning out?
Personally, I got no expectations. Coming from pretty much like what D Rice was saying, like there is a lot of people like that were Logic fans. It's kind of like he became divisive. He split his own fan base in half by like, I guess, the trajectory of his music and the stuff he like tries to dwell in and talk about. Some people put the corny label on him because of that. Mostly it's just because he talks a lot of positivity and preaches that. So I guess some people feel off-put by too much positivity or preached. But I don't think his ability as a rapper has disappeared. So like he has, honestly, his entire discography I think is really solid. Like he puts a lot of like high quality music together. I mean, even that song 1800, that's probably his most popular song, most successful song. But as a Logic fan, you're probably like, I could find a bunch of other songs like I might want to rock better than that. But Under Pressure was definitely like his biggest. I mean, that was a lot of hype because he was a big mixtape guy before the album game. People was listening to the mixtapes a lot more, and then once he got that big break, people were like excited for that Under Pressure. So him doing this No Pressure, I definitely think there's a high margin. It's like a lot of there's a lot of expectations as far as like he said he's going back to his roots in this one, which
I'll enjoy that hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's shown that he can, especially with the Young Sinatra 4, like he can definitely dive back into some of his old stuff, get that old feel, at least for some songs. So it's like it depends on how much. If he's diving into another Under Pressure type feel, and if he could deliver that for the whole album, I think it could really be like one of his best, like period. But I guess we got to see, how much he really does that on this project. So I'm half and half. I don't know. I'm just excited for it because I am a Logic fan and I do like what he's been doing for a while. So
that's solid. That's solid. Me, I think this album, hopefully, I think it will like end up turning out pretty good. Like solid Logic tapes. Like me lately, I'm not like the biggest Logic fan. I would say, like knowing his entire discography, I've heard like a few of his tapes for sure in the past. I have my select songs that I do mess with. For this album, like knowing that, okay, coming from a standpoint, okay, he's claiming that he is retiring, and I knowing his background, knowing that he's biracial, or shows and passes as like white, but often talks about that, knowing that his and his music that he talks about that, and people, yeah, and people I know get on him for being corny, like, oh yeah, why are you always discussing this? Like, why are you always on that? So like he often gets like hit with that, but I mean, his problem, like that's still him, and that's still like how he came up and how he discusses his way of life. That's his story. So, and I respect that because there's definitely like issues along with that. There's a lot of issues that not a lot of people will go and understand. So he definitely brings that up. So I do like that about him with his music, that he isn't afraid to show that aspect about him. So, a Logic tape, I'm gonna see how this is gonna do. Like, last question before like we move on to another topic with this. I want to say with Logic, do you think this album will do like more outstanding as far as like commercial, like popularity wise? Like I know Logic as an artist hasn't been like he's definitely been noticed, but as far as to the public eye and to the youth nowadays, I don't know if they catch Logic's like wave as far as like his rap skills, knowing that he still comes from that lyricism like aspect, and not a lot of people are on that. So I did want to know, like, do you think like the general public would appreciate this album since it is like apparently gonna be his last album? Do you guys think that it will like do a lot better? Like he'll get a lot more popular through it, or what? How do you guys think about that?
Yeah. I think it depends what's on it, you know. And then I mean he's been bigger now than he's ever been in his career, probably. I mean,
honestly, it feels more like the deep hip hop has like a, you know, I guess jaded maybe opinion on him, because commercially he's probably bigger than he's ever been for a while. Like especially after the Everybody album that had the 1-800 song. That's really what made it happen.
I think that's what made it happen too. Yeah, that song definitely put him like out there, especially like on that global aspect. With that song, since it did pretty well, it did put him, and it wasn't too far like recent either. So I agree with you on that too.
I think this won't be as commercially successful, in my opinion, if he's trying to go back to the Under Pressure kind of days. Like it won't have any like pop sort of stuff, but like, you know, like I think the quality, at least in my opinion, I agree with you guys. Like I think the quality will be there. I mean, if it's really gonna sound like Under Pressure, and if it's kind of like his victory lap sort of thing.
Yeah, I think he's maybe his target audience with this one is like a lot of the hardcore OG Logic fans, you know, from back, you know, from beginning. So I think if he's doing that, it's not a bad move. Commercially, he probably doesn't care that much anymore. Like, you know, he has a good enough amount of I mean, his last 3 albums were probably really good received commercially. You know, I think if this one doesn't, who knows? Like, hopefully it does for him, but you know, it might not.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it, bro. I mean, I really like the Under Pressure album. So, you know, I got some expectations, I think, like just because I know it's kind of like a follow-up to it. And I mean, anything else from Logic is like definitely not as good as Under Pressure, in my opinion. So that's my expectation. So I'm looking forward to it. I want some rap from him again.
All right.
Yeah, good expectations from him, man.
I guess Pete
Pressure next week.
Yeah.
One more thing though, like you mentioned, you liked a couple of I guess projects and stuff he's put out before. What were the ones that stood out to you the most? The ones you liked the most?
The one I liked the most, correct me if I'm wrong, if I butcher the album name, I think it was like the Great American, the one that is like Back to the Future theme. That one he dropped in 2015. I love that one. Lord Willing was my song. That got me through a lot of time.
Was that
Lord Willing?
That's the true story.
That's a good album too. Okay.
I rock with it.
The true story. Yep. That was like that time, but yeah, that was that time like from like what, like late high school into college. I like that album going into college.
Yeah.
Then it came out. It was
you was playing a lot of that in our dorm, man. That's the crazy thing.
One of my feel good albums. Yeah. You remember that? You remember those?
Yeah, he had Young Jesus on there too and stuff.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yep, I remember. Yeah, that was a good project. I said that was one of my favorites from him.
It's funny because
I had my tracks from there.
From what I hear, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that one gets really underrated.
It's like, definitely underrated.
That whole project.
Yeah, and it's cool to hear that's your favorite. A lot of people underrate that one, I feel like.
I agree. That's a good project. It's got a lot of, I mean, all the songs are pretty good on that, and it's like a good concept. It's good.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my albums from Logic right there. You know, definitely good songs, some feel good music to lift you up. You know, and some good spirits. So yeah, it's crazy how certain songs just don't appeal to the general like that. But that album definitely took the cake for me for him. So we'll see how No Pressure does for next week, though. So if it's an extra retirement, who knows? But you know, definitely excited to hear some new music for Logic. You know,
I agree. But yeah,
our Logic, no pressure, man.
No pressure at all.
No pressure with the last album, but yeah, see.
All right, T-Row. You got the next topic coming up?
Let's get it up.
All right, spin that shit.
Spin that shit. Wait.
Oh boy.
Oh, shots fired. Oh, he's saying like it's a diss.
Right.
Shots fired.
Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, y'all. That is the topic we are on now. Yeah, so there's been a lot.
T-Row, give a little recap for anyone that doesn't know what's going on. If you haven't, I mean, I don't know if you haven't heard, but yeah, it's crazy shit.
Yeah. So anybody out there who hasn't got hip to the whole Meg and Tory situation that's been going on. It's been going on for the past week or something at this point. I don't know. That's what it feels like. But
yeah.
PMG got, got the nice little quick news update. Apparently they was out there at Kylie Jenner's party. It was what was it, a birthday party or something else? It was some type of party she was just throwing. They was all over there hanging out with Kylie Jenner. Meg and Tory. Tory and Meg have been seen hanging out a couple times like since quarantine started. So they've been kind of already kicking it. So there's already all types of speculation to what's going on. And this whole situation, somehow they're in a van or SUV. Megan gets her foot shot. Tory got the gun. That's all we know. That's all we know, y'all. Still.
Literally, we don't know anything. We know as much as y'all, Apparently, yeah, like all we know is the end result. Tory Lanez gets arrested, comes out through bail same day or so, and Megan Thee Stallion gets shot at. Her foot, she shot. So that's all that we know so far. And what?
She's okay, by the way, y'all.
Yeah, she's not in critical condition.
That's the part I don't get. Why her foot? Like, why her toe? Like yeah.
That's why we need them to like speak up. Like, okay, what's going on? Like what happened? So I did like see something. This is also to add on to the story. Megan Thee Stallion did speak on it through a comment that because it was like a little bit of like extreme allegations of what people were bringing up into the table. So she just wanted to clear that out. She did get shot, but it seemed like it was more so like an intention to rob, like from whoever did the shooting. So we don't know it. From what it sounds like, it doesn't sound like okay. Tory Lanez like clearly had shot at her. So, but it's still not 100% true what I know and what happened. But from what she told me, it seemed like it was like an attempt, like with the intent to do something like bad, like a robbery, something like that. So along those lines, I think, yeah, she got shot at with some intention of, she got shot at basically someone trying to rob her, and the long story short. So I don't think it was Tory, especially knowing that, like, did see them in the car together that night. So I don't think Tory Lanez had the intention, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Luckily, she doesn't know this, but I'm about to shoot her. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But, that's just what's going on right now as far as like media. So that's an additional story added on to that.
That's interesting. I thought I heard they were like arguing or something like that, and then a gun went off. It was around like 4 a.m. too. So I mean, who knows what was going on?
It's just the thing. I just don't. It's all speculation. Like, who knows? Like, and Tory gets arrested. It's a crazy story. It's just crazy.
It's crazy for real. That's what I heard too, and that's why I'm like, and it's like it could, because who's to say they're both not true? Maybe they was arguing. They probably happened to argue, and someone could have still ran up on him and tried to rob him or some shit. And then Tory tried to do something, or it just failed. I don't know. It's like we sitting here just trying to figure it out. Like they not telling us nothing. At first, before Megan even said something at all, like they wasn't saying anything at all to nobody. Like, I think there was another friend in the car with him, and like Megan Thee Stallion's best friend or something. And she put it on out there on social media. She said all she knows is she ain't had the gun. She ain't shoot none. So it's like, everyone's looking at Tory.
Yeah, basically. And I did know that, like, prior to this, it did seem like 2020, Tory and Megan Thee Stallion did have a good relationship.
Yeah.
So we saw them a lot, like with each other. Tory has been coming up through his quarantine radio that he did for like what during the March, April aspects of our lockdown when that happened. So he definitely had been coming up through his platform recently. And Megan Thee Stallion has been doing, you already know what she's been on, like needless to say, with 2019, 2020, with her EPs dropping, and she got a song with Beyonce out. So,
yeah,
she's already doing
they both been doing well this year, definitely.
Yeah, they have been doing well. Yeah, so they have been doing pretty well in that aspect. So it's just ironic and crazy for this story to just blow up like in the midst of 2020 about them getting into this situation that they're in right now with Megan Thee Stallion being shot and Tory being a part of that in the car and also arrested that same night. So I can't wait for them to unpack it themselves, because we're not going. This isn't going to get brushed under the rug. Like Megan Thee Stallion has diehard fans, and everybody's trying to figure out should we hate Tory Lanez or not. That's really what the media is trying to find out. It's like, okay, did Tory shoot you or not? Like, what is our position with him so we can stand or we can really hate him? Like that's what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah, as of now, Tory Lanez seems a little sus though.
Yeah, all the information that's been presented so far, he seems sus, and it's like what, I've been all the rumors that they've been having like a secret relationship. That's another thing I've been hearing.
Oh, he's domestic violence guy.
Man.
That's another thing I've been hearing.
Oh, you said domestic.
The story, the rumors are just going crazy, man. Like we don't know nothing, but I mean, we've seen them kicking it throughout the quarantine. And it's like these things can kind of add up. I seen him. I just seen another picture, on Instagram or something. I mean, Megan had her ass on him, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
damn, yeah, that's some crazy shit.
It's like, what's going on for real? Yeah. And we already know with Megan, she has been, living her best life. I would say, like, definitely living her best life. Like, as far as we know, I don't forget, like, when she was with G-Eazy. I think that was this year, earlier this year.
G-Eazy?
She has been living her best life out here. There was a video of her and G-Eazy together, like right before coronavirus had, gotten into this prime. Like him and G-Eazy went to the club together, came back home together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
like, so she has been, doing living her best life. So that's needless to say over there. So I don't know if the secret relationship. I don't know if that's just people, since it's been silent for so long, people just staring anything up like, okay, secret relationship could be happening, or that could be true. You never know what's going on.
Yeah, bro. These people these celebrities can be secretive. You know what I mean? But I honestly think Tory Lanez probably might have fired some shots. I'm thinking maybe they got in an argument, but it sounds like from what Megan Thee Stallion reportedly was saying was like, yeah, I got shot at. I mean, I'm just gonna assume. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Could be. She didn't say nothing. She just said, I got shot at. Yeah, it's true. My foot got shot. So she probably would just say inventory on that aspect, but who knows what really happened? I don't know if there's an entanglement going on between them. I don't know if they got some beef. This is crazy. Like I said, this is wild 2020 news. It fits perfectly with what's going on in 2020 because it's been chaotic. So it's like, who knows right now? Seriously. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, with what they got going on, it could have been an accident. And then maybe the real story is embarrassing as hell or something. And they're just like,
yeah.
They don't know what to
say. Oh my God.
That's another thing too. So, it could be literally anything. It's like, well, yeah, you shot her in an accident. Now you're in trouble. It's like, damn.
But anyways, though, I'd say shout out both those artists. They made some good music this year, especially Tory Lanez. I really liked his.
Oh yeah,
I've been really
yeah, and then
the new Toronto. Yep. That album. He's been having a hell of a year. I'll say that himself. Like him just progressing as an artist and like promoting himself. That was the biggest thing that I saw out there. Just how he promoted himself, like during the pandemic, like with the radio, the quarantine radio. For him to just make up a platform like that and have everybody on it, I'm telling you, from athletes to different celebrities, artists, everybody on it, and then just make it entertaining for people during like what we're going on in the world. That, you know, just having a little new entertainment aspect that he had, that was just a great aspect of him promoting himself, man. I remember times where he was in jail, he was getting locked out from doing that radio. People were definitely on the wave with that radio that he was doing. So he upped up new opportunities with that. I know he had a deal, YouTube expansion, I believe. I don't know if it is YouTube or he did sign a deal through the quarantine radio to like do more media outlet. So I know he did get a gig from the quarantine radio. So shout out to him for doing that. And you heard, you know, Megan Thee Stallion, she's been out here. So both really have been doing well for themselves, actually. Like, although 2020 has been what it is, 2020 for them has been pretty big so far. So it's unfortunate to hear this news, and I hope that, you know, Megan Thee Stallion recovers pretty well. And, you know, hopefully we hear some great music in the near future from them again.
I feel.
Honestly, yo, did y'all hear about his height? People been clowning him for the
for his height. Oh yeah, bro. Yeah.
The video on Sway in the Morning when he was doing his freestyle.
Oh yeah, he like stands up. He's the same height.
That's the funny video. I love that video because he really did. I was like, wait, he stands up. He did. He moved.
Oh my god.
And I was thinking, like, wait, Sway's taller than him? Like, really? That's crazy.
It's crazy. No, I'm thinking like, wait, what? So this whole time, like, it just got me thinking about how they be hiding people's height, like they're celebrities. Like, how does nobody know at all? Like what?
I thought people did know.
Honestly, I don't think I've known for real. Maybe I forgot, or maybe I just assumed he was average height. Like, I mean, that's just normal.
Yeah, I never assumed he was like extremely tall. I didn't know what I assumed, honestly, but I just know that video was really funny. When he really was
so funny.
I was like, oh my gosh, who brought this up?
The chair is the same height, huh? Like, what? How you do that?
I can only imagine him just like dangling his feet.
Dangling his feet
and everything.
Bro.
that shit was
cold.
You've been getting, they've been trying to come for him on that. It's like, damn.
All right. Well, sounds good. All right, bro. Yeah, I think we're good to get on to the next topic as well.
All right, y'all. We can get that wheel spinning.
What we got?
My bad. I'm responding to a text. My bad.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So the topic is Joey Badass releases the Light Pack, which is a little EP-ish sort of thing with 3 songs on it. It's been his first music he's released since like 2017. Back when he released All American Badass. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are really looking forward to it from what I can hear. I mean, Nas called him like the new king of New York, basically. I mean,
that's big. That's huge.
That's a pretty big recognition.
Yeah. So I mean, he's got respect definitely, and then, I mean, I'm sure I can talk for a lot of people when I say like I'm definitely excited to hear some more music from Joey Badass. He's a great lyricist, artist, rapper. And yeah, this kind of 3-pack of songs showed even a little more. So yeah, it kind of goes in the same category as he's been doing though. You know what I mean? Like the kind of boom bap beats and that sort of production, and then like, you know, like the emphasis on like the lyrics. So I enjoyed it so far. What do you guys think?
Yo, I'm on the same wave with that, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was quite pleased, quite happy with this little Light Pack, man. Like, definitely. He decided, man, it was time to come back out. Like, I hope he probably got plans for like, you know, new albums or whatever he got coming up, hopefully. Because I mean, this little tease right here, he came to show out. Like, I mean, You got people like Nas saying he the new king of New York. Now, I mean, he really got some stuff to back it up with on this. Like, they're 3 songs, but they're really damn solid for real.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the songs on this was really solid. Honestly, the song like my favorite might be the song with Pusha T on it. He got Pusha T on here. That No Explanation.
That was good. That was really good. Yeah, I was like, it was good to hear Push too. I like that.
That one actually feel like I don't think like any song on here is really like radio specific, but that one, the most lyrical and probably the most Joey radio specific. Besides, like, you know, American Badass had its own type of radio hits, but like from like the deep Joey Badass that we really know, I guess, as far as spitting old, you know, bars and shit. Like, that's the kind of song you really expect from, like, you really expect a song like that from him. He really just showed out with the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
like the message.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree. I think my favorite track, I mean, all of them kind of, he's definitely like an old school guy with like in the new school, you know what I mean? He has a lot of like, his influences come from like the old school. You can tell in his music, and especially because he cares about the lyrics and like the beats. Like, he doesn't do it like, you heard a little bit on the last album, but like he doesn't do like trap really. Like, maybe it's more of like, you know, some real rap stuff. So I mean, I really like The Light the most. I mean, that song had like the perfect beat. Static Selecta was on, made that beat. So, and it was a good little intro to the 3-pack, and then kind of like a cool intro again to, you know, Joey Badass.
Honestly, man, can't even lie. What about you, Doug?
So man, the 3 tracks, I was excited. I was excited to hear new music from him because it was a little hiatus. 2017, like you guys said, that's a long time. You know what I'm saying? We were already, you know, Big Sean for that.
Yeah.
You know, Big Sean needs to drop music. So 2017 has been a while, and that his last album was solid to me. And yeah, like knowing him, Joey Badass, he's gonna talk more about, you know, more lyricists. He does come from. I like the analogy you gave, Dave. Like, you know, lyricists from like, he's like the old mindset in like the new era. You know, still one of those guys that still cares deep about like what's going on in the world today. He's gonna bring those topics up and, you know, give you some lyricism with that. And I definitely respect it. It's kind of like, you know, the Kendrick vibes a little bit, you know, like old Kendrick vibes of like Section 80. That's how I like to hear it. So it's definitely dope to hear like these 3 tracks. I definitely worked with the tracks 2 and 3, man. The song with Pusha, it was like, oh man, good vibes. And it was great lyricism that I heard throughout the tracks. So it was solid for me, man. And I'm definitely expected. I want to hear. I need to hear a new project from him, and I do expect him to, like, you know, go about what's going on in today's world. And it makes a lot of sense about like why he talks about coming up from New York. You know, Nas gave him the shout out of like being like the king right now for the new age. But like, you can think about it, like Nas, Jay-Z's, like anybody from New York, like in the past history, like they're usually come from like that little lyricism aspect. You know, when you think about people from New York and rappers and artists, especially like, you know, if you step into Joey Badass's time when he was growing up, listening to those people that were coming out, all lyricism, you know, all people that's talked about a message all throughout. So, you know, it's only right for him to carry that torch and just keep lifting that music up. So he's always been a great artist. His last album was like, to me, it was one of the best of 2017 with the albums that dropped like Damn.
I agree with that.
And what else dropped that? Yeah, a lot of other tracks that dropped. So it was kind of more so out of nowhere. Like, I didn't expect that from him. That was one of my first installments that I listened to from Joey Badass. I kind of, you know, it was I didn't really get into his album when he dropped when he was like 16, 17. I forgot the name of that had Waves on there. That album, 1996, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was one of those for not. So that album fire. By the way, dropped at 16 and everything. So it's amazing to drop a class like that at the end. So all of his projects, which like it is, I saw an interview that he was doing with like a therapist not too long ago, and I know he's been going through like a tough time still, thinking about like people that he grown up with and that had died in his past. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in his life that he's still trying to get and subdue and try to alleviate. So it's good that he's dropping music from this aspect. So I'm excited to see what's coming forth from
him. Nice, bro. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm really looking forward to his new music because he actually like announced like an album coming soon. Like he's been apparently working on it. It's a little like sneak peekish sort of thing. So I'm I'm kind of looking forward. This was like a really good taste of what he's got coming because I'm really excited. Like he's definitely one of my favorite artists.
No doubt, man.
And yeah, I mean, because I definitely enjoyed his last album. That's like you said, that's one of my favorites from 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, he definitely did. So I'm expecting a lot of good things, especially with this little preview we got with the 3 tracks, and even better, there's that Pusha T feature, like you guys said. He went off on there, and he works so well with like some of those lyrical rappers like Pusha T. Like,
yeah,
he needs some more shit like that.
I definitely agree because like on his last album, he had the song "Legendary" with J. Cole, man.
The good song.
Like, songs like that Babylon, like I mess with songs like that, like that he comes out with that he has like a deep thought, deep meaning into, and then songs where he features with other people that's on like the same tip that he's on. It really, he just puts out great music at the end of the day, and it's been a while since I heard from him. So I definitely am excited to hear that these 3 tracks came out. They were pretty solid. People that he worked with on it. It's just good news coming out from him. So like I'm excited to see what else he got coming out basically in the near future because that's what the game been missing, man. I miss Joey Badass. So I definitely want to hear more from him, man. It was good to see that he dropped a project or dropped a couple tracks, man.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's gonna be good to have him back. I mean, yeah, it's a little sneak peek, man. It's a little taste, man. Joey, you ready for some more of that heat, bro? Most def.
Yeah, bro. It's been a nice little refreshment, to be honest. Just like needed it.
Needed that, man. We've always got a spot for you here in the room in the game.
Need that.
You gotta secure this spot, bro. You're gonna become legendary, man. Because I'm glad he's getting a lot more recognition now.
Oh yeah, man. He's already living up to it, man.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna before we end this off, like low key.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I love like the trap shit, but like low key something like this is kind of refreshing. It's like hearing like some of the lyrical stuff, and like some old school kind of beats. It's kind of refreshing sometimes to hear something like this, especially from Joey Badass. I enjoy a lot.
Yeah, and then think about it, like 2017, it's almost like the game, it changed a bit. Like it hasn't changed a whole lot, but it's been a while. It's been definitely a phase from 2017 like to now. So like back then, that was more so when like the classes of Uzi, Kodak, they were coming up and stuff. That whole class, and the designers of the world and such and such. And now 2020, it's like a lot of those guys, not a lot of those guys, but like, they're still doing things. Some of them even faded out from that class, and music has changed. There's a lot of littles in the game. There's a lot of, different artists, little Mosey, little this and that here. So, and music kind of really diverged and changed to where we're not hearing, especially since, people like Joey Badass hasn't been like dropping music. Kendrick, you already know, he's been the same, too. Like he hasn't dropped since 2017. J. Cole, people that really talk about, substance in their music, they take a while to drop albums. So it hasn't been a while. Yeah, it's been a while for that. So it's good and refreshing, to what we're used to in the game nowadays. Of like, all the auto tune, all the quick music, the quick hits that people drop. It's really good to see some premeditated, like actual good substance music out there. So Enjoy Badass is one of the great ones that still, delivers that good message out there. So it's really good to see this go on. So I'm excited for him. I know he's gonna do big things coming up. So, and he's still young, man. So, whew, more music to come from that boy.
I feel you.
Yeah. All right. Seems like what we got next, boys. What we got next?
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this last topic up.
All right. Better be a good one. Let's see.
I think we got a good one no matter what this one is on. Let's see.
Ooh.
Oh, I like it. Throwback. It's throwback time, y'all. Throwback.
So the wheel has landed on an album Marino, which anyone doesn't know, it's just a little album, verses basically. We put two albums side by side, see which ones you like better, kind of compare them a little bit. So we got two of the best albums of 2015 stacked against each other for this one. It's Drake's. If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Classic right there. Yeah. And of course, Future's Dirty Sprite 2. And you already know about that one.
They're both, man. Yeah, this is an iconic time in the game because, Peter, we were talking earlier, he was saying that, they came out the same time at, 2015. These are two really big albums, especially for, Drake and Future at the time. Like, Future really popped off. I mean, he was already on an incline. Drake himself was both on the incline. They came out with that duo project, What a Time to Be Alive, the same year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No lies with that one. With this project, these two projects, like going back to even refresh the history with it, 2015, I remember like it was I think even February. Like I still remember like the months. Like Drake dropped his it was a surprise. It was because it was so surprised. I remember Drake he didn't announce the album. It just like dropped overnight. It was one of those surprise albums. So I do remember that and waking up like, oh snap, like he just dropped like Reading This Is Too Late. And I definitely remember like, from the first track, like Legend, like it just hit it off, like Legend. And then you got songs like 10 Bands, Energy, like what? With My Woes, like, oh my goodness, like he just had hit for hit, just a surprise on that album that was coming out. So that was just solid for Drake. And then this is already like coming off of Nothing Was the Same. He's still riding off that energy of Nothing Was the Same. So it kind of like propelled him. He already established himself in the game, but he said this is just like adding to his resume at this point, just adding hit to his resume. And then with Future, he was like this. I'll tell you what Future threw me surprised with this. Like I'm gonna tell you, around that time in 2015, he like Future's name to me wasn't like definitely topping the game around that time. It was more so like, yeah, he's in the game, he's there, but I never saw him as one of those top artists in 2015. And I did remember like he was dropping his mixtape, he was in his phase. In that 2015, he dropped Beast Mode around that time. So I do remember that. And it was solid. It was good. Like 8 tracks solid. So but with DS2 that dropped that summer, man, I saw a whole new wave of Future. I swear. I saw something I never knew that he could just do. And he really went from wherever he was to like to the top, just like that. I remember the song, like, bro, hit for hit. Like, he had so much. The whole album is a classic. And at the time, I kind of didn't understand all of it. Or I was like, dang, like, everybody's on the Future way. Let me see what's going on. And, like, when you listen to it, it's like, oh, yeah, I understand why. Like, when you got songs like Where Your Ass Is At, when you got Rotation, Blood and Money, you got, like, the intro. Come on. I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip flops. That's all you need.
It's iconic.
That's all you need right there. Like, oh man, turn it up from that point on. So it's like track for track, like the album, it threw me by surprise that summer. That's one of the things that was like, wow, like he got this in him. Like this is amazing. And I just saw stardom from that summer all the way to now, like just like that. So that was a shock to me. But yeah, Future definitely promoted himself as Future with that album. Like that's the number one album that lets you know, like, yeah, that's Future. So whew, both solid tapes, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think. Damn. Yeah, you hit the mark pretty well, Prince. You delved back pretty well. I mean, yeah, Drake was coming off his last album pretty well, and this is, in my opinion, Drake's like first kind of iteration into trap a little bit. Like he started experimenting a little more with trap beats. So I feel like that's a little bit why we can kind of compare these a little more than, you know, most Drake albums to Future. Right. So yeah, I mean, bro, just like you said, there's classics on both. Like with Drake, you know, you got Know Yourself, Energy, Legend, Six God.
Man, you can keep going. You can keep going, like, honestly.
Yeah. Future. I mean, you also, like, the thing that's different about Drake's album than Future's is it had a couple of R&B songs, though. He didn't have some of that in Future. So it's, like, hard to compare that part. So I feel like it's got to be the rap we talk about. Because there's no song like Jungle on Future's album.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That's true. Drake, he always like incorporates kind of both, like no matter in any album. I don't know if Drake has an all trap album yet, or he probably does. This is probably his closest, honestly. So I like how you say he delved into that. This is probably his closest, where it's like majority just into like,
you
know,
trap
beats hits. Honestly, just meant like there's like more songs like Energy on that album.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, yeah, like you said, like all the crazy hits and like super big songs were like amazing on DS2. I mean, Dirty Sprite 2, I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me, but that's definitely Future's. That's a song. That's what made Future like kind of like a household name, in my opinion.
Yeah,
you know, it's his best album too, in my opinion. Like, Thought It Was a Drought, Where You At, with Drake, Stick Talk,
man.
You know, and it had Fuck Up Some Combos. You know, that's the old
one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like,
Real Sisters is a good one.
Sisters.
Where your ass is at? Well, no, not where your ass is at. What was like? Wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, you got a strap. That was on the radio nonstop every day. I remember it, man. I remember that time, man.
Like, man. It's like, bro, you couldn't go nowhere. You could not hide from Future, bro, at that time.
well, you couldn't hide from Drake either because you heard him on this album too.
Oh yeah, no, you couldn't hide from either of these guys.
Yeah, really, like, and that's why I think like. What a Time to Be Alive came about, because it was like, all right, Drake got hit for hits like nonstop on this album. Like you could just shuffle it and go to any song that you like, and it's kind of like the same way with Future. It's like you can just put that boy on shuffle if you really wanted to, and you're just gonna enjoy it. Like it's just gonna be hits like all the way through. So it's just like, well, you can't hide from either of them, so why not spend a week and just make a project? And I think that's how like What a Time to Be Alive came about. So. 2015 was their year. 2015 for sure. It was like, Drake, Future.
They was teasing number 2. Where is that?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
They were. I'd be excited. You know, there's always room for that. You know what I'm saying? There's always room for another Drake and Future, you know, whole entire collab. I honestly thought they were going to do it when Life is Good came out. I thought that was going to be on there.
Yeah. But
that was that.
Yeah, bro.
What you guys think, man? What you guys think? What do you favor? Are we siding with the Drake? Or are we siding with Future? What do you guys think about 2015?
This is like one of the hardest decisions of my life.
He's in his life. Ooh.
This is a hard one, bro.
It is, bro, because like you can't run away from both. They're both.
You want to go first?
You said me? Yeah.
Well, I was saying Dave.
Oh, Dave, yeah. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, all right, I'll lead off, I guess. This is not an easy decision, but you know, I gotta go probably with Drake. I mean, that's one of my favorites from Drake. You know, this is like when he kind of like took over, in my opinion. Like he's like, yeah, I'm the shit, basically. I mean, this is when you kind of realized it. And yeah, basically, you know, I had like all the songs I love, like that really gets you hyped up, really. I don't know, it's like some swagger music for sure. It's like legend, energy, 10 bands. Like there's not, like, I honestly don't think there's a skip on this album. So
yeah, and you just named them in a row. That's just like in a row. It's like you can't skip that, right? That's just beautiful.
I messed my energy so hard, bro.
Yeah, that was everywhere, man.
Yeah, and
that led
you know,
into college.
I had some good features on there too that I really liked. That, you know, Party Next Door is good. I like him. Lil Wayne was good on Used To. He was spazzing out. And he had that early little feature of Travis Scott, and I thought that was a really good feature with Company.
That was before Trav was Trav, though. I will say, yeah, a young Trav on there.
Really good too, man.
Yeah, so I liked how we. I definitely really enjoyed it, and you know, I'd say I go back to this project a little more than Futures, but like both of them are amazing. But you know, I would say like shit, yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I gotta say Drake's though. I mean, Futures was a classic, but I gotta say for me it's gotta be Drake's.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with everything you said, Dave. I think I'm siding with Drake also because it's Drake. It's because it's just the fact that like with Drake, like he was well established. He was established like from Take Care. That's like, oh yeah, he's one of these guys. And then Nothing the Same dropping is just like, oh man, he does it again. And this drops out of nowhere. You think about that. This drops out of nowhere and it's just like hit for hit for hit. And it's like he just does it again. Like this is like, okay, adding to Drake's resume and building him up. And bro, like I agree. It's like it's not really anything you could skip on this album. A bunch of these are like radio friendly, like just songs to get you hype and like trap music. And you know, he got a couple songs that are a little slow, like kind of R&B style, and he brings in PND, you know, to bring that vibe. But it's just like the name when you name out the tracks, it's like how can you not love this album? How can you not, like you heard these albums, even if you didn't really listen to the album, you heard them somewhere. You heard them either on the radio, some app or whatever. Like Drake, he definitely had it. And then like even afterwards, he comes out. This is the same summer him and Meek Mill got into it and comes out with back to back. It's just like, man,
oh my God.
Like, Drake was winning that entire
he was on fire that year, bro.
He was winning the entire 15. It was like, how can you not side with Drake? It's like
what a time
almost legal. And it's like no disrespect to Future. Future, like his album, it grew on me. I think more so while making this decision was what got more play out of me. And with Drake's, it's just like I can play this no matter what time it is. Like it's been 5 years, like I can play this now and it can still hit the same. Like it's timeless. And then Future's the same way. He has definitely great tracks. I think more so at the time I didn't understand. I didn't like dive into his wave that quick. Even though it was a great album.
I wasn't either, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was trash.
Yeah, like you know,
he was trash. I was so irritated with Future. Just like I was like, I don't hear none of that.
You know? Like honestly, it's
turn off the lights.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up, man. That song is like, wait a minute, this is a good song to everybody. Like turn off the lights. I'm like he's losing his voice.
Future had some whack songs when he first came out, but
yeah,
he started getting better.
Yeah, he had to change his sound and such. So this was definitely the album for him, like that catapulted him up to the game. And it's like, man, like the tracks that you name of that album is great. It's just more so for me at the time. Like at the time, it was definitely good. But more playback came out of definitely Drake's album. I would say it definitely came out of like all of those tracks that were just hits, like just hits that just kept coming back, bro. Like the first 4 or 5 tracks is just like all hits that just was on the radio that I just kept getting playback for me. So when you think about it that way, I kind of got to side with Drake, man. Like Drake's album, the whole year that he had, everything about it was just like, yeah, like he definitely got the edge for me, man. No disrespect to Future, man, but I think that 2015 like solo album Drake had got him on this.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm gonna be, man. I'm the only one on this side.
Oh, you gotta take
Oh
Future?
man,
I'm
oh
on the
man.
Future side.
What? Damn.
Ooh, okay, okay.
All right, Future fans, I'm gonna hold it down for y'all. I'm gonna hold it down for y'all.
Yeah, free,
No,
free
I agree.
band,
I
bro.
agree with y'all made amazing points, and I mean, I can't not or like disagree with a lot of things y'all said. I mean, I said I feel a lot of the same ways about Drake's album. I think for me, the reason why I'm siding with Future is because I already had a feeling about Drake. It's like Drake's album, it was a surprise, and it was like solid. It's a solid tape, solid project. And if I'm being honest, like as a project, as an album, like I feel like if you're releasing This Is Too Late, it's just a better album. Like with it offers more. There's more. It's more introspective. You can take more out of it than I feel like you can take. You know, DS2, but
Yeah.
that's like it didn't change like my opinion or like my perspective or outlook on Drake himself. Like Drake was already established, like we were saying, like with the Take Care and Nothing Was the Same. Just like at that point, there was no like you can't even doubt Drake at all. Like if you like, what was the point of doubting him? It's like you just it's either you have fatigue or you love him because that's it.
Yeah,
You know?
honestly, he's here to
I
stay.
feel you.
So once that came out, it was just like, yeah, you did it again. I mean, I'm not surprised.
No doubt, no doubt though.
It was like you ain't let nobody down yet. So, you know, he came out with that, came out with another solid project. For me, the reason why I go with Future on DS2 is just because of how big of a shift that was. Like in the songs
It was
back,
shocking for you, right?
Yeah,
mind
definitely.
blowing. Mind blowing. So I mean, all the Future fans, all the hardcore Future fans out there, they might not like that I called them trash, but I mean, before DS2, I mean, this boy got put on with DS2. I mean, song for song, this entire album is a hit. Like these are both really solid albums. Like that's the thing with DS2. Like you wouldn't like if you wasn't a Future fan before, you wouldn't be coming in thinking, oh yeah, like I'm about to like DS2.
Yeah.
Came in here thinking this guy was trash. Came in was like, this guy's amazing. Like what? Like,
DS2 is like a masterpiece.
It is.
Almost every song it makes so much sense. It's very cohesive. I mean, and that's my only thing it doesn't give you a depth that, you know, the Drake album will give you as far as like other things that you're going for. And they're both like very trappy. I think if we're going just straight trappy, then DS2, of course, is like the trappy album.
Yeah.
That's another and it's just like, I mean, if that's the mood you're trying to be in, if you're trying to be on some trap mood shit, you're trying to be on some just hype. I just want to hear some ratchet ass shit and do ratchet shit with my friends. So that DS2 is it, man. Like everybody know every song almost on here. It's the vibe. Like you said, you could play, man. Shit, we even say Freak Ho? Bro, Freak Ho?
Oh yeah, Steak Talk. I don't think we talked about that. Steak Talk is in there.
You know to talk that stick talk, man. Oh my god, yeah, he had
That's a great song. Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. The Real Sister was fuck up some commas was a hit. You couldn't go nowhere and not hear fuck up some commas. You couldn't go nowhere and not hear Real Sisters. You couldn't go nowhere and not hear trap niggas. Bro, you gotta brush your teeth before you grab that strap.
Oh my god. Bro, they had some great songs on this.
Even I Serve the Beast, man. Even the second song after.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh, that song, like I forgot about it, and low key goes so hard.
I was impressed, man. I'm like, I did not expect this much from Future at all.
Yeah, bro. He did his thing. He did his thing on that. Like, I agree. He did his thing for sure. Like, he can't, like, I agree with your message of saying, like, yeah, came in, said this man's ass came out, this man is amazing. This guy, you go, like, GOAT status almost, like, and it was portrayed that way. Like, this man is a GOAT. Like, that's what I was confused at the time. Like, what do you do with this album? You just got to understand. Like, I think more so when I got to college and like you get to go to the parties and started hearing it more, I think that's when it settled in more. So like, oh yeah, future, like this man bang. When you keep hearing trap music
Yeah.
everywhere, like
I
when you
think
hear
I
Stick
think
Talk
both
out
these
there.
albums hit different for us because it's both albums we heard in college. I feel like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like the time frame, like when everything happened and how like it was perceived, like what you was going through and everything. Like I think just Drake himself, like everything about it, like the tracks, like it's Drake, like Drake, you're gonna know you're gonna get some good content with him. So that's what you already know with that. And the 2015, how it settled, like you definitely was winning, and like all around, even with beefs, like I said, the back to back song that dropped, then like later on, him and Future decided to collab. With Future, it was just the shock of everything. Like, dang, this man really
yeah.
is a great artist on the low.
I
Like,
swear, everyone was like, "Yo, he had some crazy shit come out." Like no one was expecting this from Future, like you guys were saying.
I'm not gonna lie, no, but I didn't think he was ever gonna be on this level like this. Like, like this is the same guy that made Same Damn Time. Like, I was rocking with that a little bit.
No,
Like, I didn't think he was like gonna be like
that.
that.
Low key kind of hype.
Yeah, like Same Damn
But
Time.
yeah.
You got like he had his butt into this type of artist. Like, whoa, he showed his ass. He did his thing for sure, and that made him to who he is. This album for sure is what made him to the future, like the guy today. You know what I'm saying? To where the memes, you know what I'm saying? So that Future definitely did his thing, man. I rock with that.
Yeah, man, that's my reason for rocking with this one on this battle, man. Like the most impact, I was like that changed an entire just perception, man. That changed an entire perception.
It made him like a trap OG, low key.
I think with this, I gotta ask another question. So which album basically like had better like play throughout? Like okay, which was more so a timeless album? Like as far as you could play this no matter what, gets more play, or it lasted longer in your opinion? Like okay, which album can I play today and still have a better vibe with? You know what I'm saying? Like okay, I could play it all the way throughout without skipping because I've heard it so many times or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So which album do y'all think basically has lasted long?
That's for me, it's a very tough one because I think I could easily say DS2, but I feel like if you want to feel hype, like both of them can have that, but I think if you want to feel more than hype, the Drake album has more than hype.
Yeah, I agree. You can do it with both, I feel like. You can go back to both these albums, I feel like, and it still works. Like, like they didn't, at least in my opinion, they didn't like get old or anything. You know what I mean? Like you can still bump these albums today.
Yeah, that's true.
Seriously.
Like the sounds was slightly different, a little like it was transitioning. I don't think we had extreme like the 2015 like the auto tune phase where like you got our little Uzis out there. I don't think it was coming to that point. Yeah, it was starting to happen. With the 2016 class, but we weren't completely there yet at that time. So 5 years later, to look at where we're at now and like see who matches sound. They're both on top of the game, so it's like you really can't knock them both off. But I would have to switch sides and go to like the DS2 with this one, which played out like a lot better later on. I feel like, especially with this like the DS2, it's more so just a lot of hits, a lot of trap, and that's a lot of things. That's like the hip hop is kind of like more so pop now, like over the past year.
I
so
agree.
with that trap coming into play, it's like that's kind of like the popular sound, So, and I feel like DS2, it is timeless. That's DS2 is future sound. That's a signature sound in a sense. Like that's kind of where he comes from. So, and that's what people love today, about his music. That's what Life is Good came about. That's what his, High on Life, like his new album that dropped not too long ago. That's why people love that. So I feel like DS2, you can play that now and it will get the same love anywhere else. And it's like more so club music too. Like, bro, all them songs kind of like, bro, you can play that album.
You can play any of those in the club.
Yeah, you can play that album and it get played in the club. It's like, man, it's there for you. So I feel like that to me kind of it took the cake for it as far as like what played better out through time.
Yeah, and it makes sense you say that too because like with the Drake album, it kind of was more like Drake was kind of like you said, D. It was an experimental trap for Drake. Like he was starting to dive into it more. Like he just was like, all right, let me. Whereas the whole sound of trap today, like DS2 is almost like all these other artists. They're trying to capture all the types of trap that Future's like the trap OG.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I feel like
it kind of made him like that, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah,
like
I mean, I still gotta say for Drake, like at least for me, I go back to If You're Reading This Too Late more than DS2. But like, what's received more, you know, like I guess what most people would do probably DS2. It's probably aged better in my opinion. But you know, Drake, like it definitely like. I don't know. I can listen to like that Drake album like a lot more in different situations, you know. But like Future's album, like if you're trying to get hyped, hell yeah, you can listen to that too. So yeah, I mean, but at least for me, you know, they're both great. Like I can both listen to them today, but I think I'd go back more to Drake's, especially because it's got like a lot to it, you know.
Damn, I ain't gonna lie, y'all get me inspired to go back and listen to all these albums. I'm doing it.
I agree.
Let's go back and listen. Man, they were pivotal, bro. 2015, like those are the main albums right there.
Yeah,
those are the main things.
When times were simple and Fetty Wap was still going.
Oh my goodness, that was the Fetty Wap age, man. Oh man, take me back, please take me back, man. Trap Queen and fine. Like,
yeah.
Dang.
Fetty,
like
man.
My Way, like y'all My Way. Yeah,
that was
time,
such
man.
a vibe. Man, that was inescapable. And being here at college, oh my god.
Oh yeah. All I gotta do is put my mind through this shit.
Y'all just literally giving me freshman year vibes again, man. That's what y'all doing with this, like with these projects, the whole freshman year. That's what we bringing back, bro. And it was just I feel like life was just so great at that time, you know. So it's like now with great music added on to a great time, it's like it just adds up. It's like everything is. It just makes sense this way, you know. So
seriously,
it was great music, definitely during that time, bro. Shout out to Drake and Future, bro. Pivotal moments in their career. Definitely more so in Future's aspect because that made him who he is today for sure. And you know, Drake just reestablishing himself. So it's like that 2015 needed to happen. It needed to happen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Yeah, bro. Yeah. So yes, both some classic albums, bro. You're not wrong for either one, but I think you know our.
Yeah, bro. Definitely. They definitely take the cake with that, man.
Yeah, shout out to Drake and Future on that for sure. Y'all had 2015 in live.
We need What a Time to Be Alive Part 2, man. Quit playing. We need the Part 2.
Yes, we do.
I gotta stop playing. Y'all was teasing it and shit.
Like, come on. We need that, bro. Please. I'm waiting for another 2015.
Yeah, but before we end the podcast, since Prince did it, I think we gotta shout out the Instagram for the podcast.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know what to do at this point. If y'all ain't doing it by now, y'all need to be following us on Instagram. Y'all can find us, simply put, the Rap Roulette Podcast. It ain't gonna get more than that. So go ahead and go search us up, and go ahead. If you already haven't already, if you're listening to this on your Spotify or the Apple Music, we also got a page on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe to that as well. Rap Roulette Podcast.
Follow us,
smash that subscribe.
Yeah, follow us and share. We got polls and shit too. You know, stay a little interactive. That's all you gotta do.
Yes, sir. You're walking with the greatest guys, man. I'm telling y'all. Shout out. I appreciate y'all for bringing me to the show, man. Definitely had some good topics about music today, man. Some good vibes, good convo. And I definitely appreciate y'all, man. Definitely do.
It's been a pleasure to see you here, man. Most definitely.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Definitely excited. Definitely well needed, man. Well needed. Got it in, bro. Got it in.
Long last.
Yeah, long lasting. Waited and do, man. So It is what it is, man. So shout out to y'all for having me once again.
Yeah, bro.
Cool, homie.
All right. Well, I'm gonna peace out. You wanna say anything else, T-Ro?
Nah, that's it, y'all. Make sure y'all go follow us on the social media, YouTube, Instagram, all right? Y'all go do that, and we gonna holler at y'all next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.
All right, y'all. Peace, man.